great. With Tabby, good. Welcome to Jackass Express, episode 51, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have joining us Mr. Walter Tip Bambrook.
Can we start yet?
Yeah.
Way to screw up your intro.
Hey, Jeff.
Hello.
Oh boy, I'm very nervous already. And also joining us is also Mr. Jeffrey Nicholson.
Hello.
Pat, tell us about being an hour late.
Okay, first off, I was not an hour late. There was a new start time, brand new start time. We went from 8 to 8:30, and then
Hey, we were here at 8:30.
Yeah.
no, I'm talking about my 8:30. It's 8:25 to me right now. To me, it is just 8:25.
No one cares about Mexico time.
How dare you? No. And
I know.
it's also Colorado time. So that's where I don't know, they're living a haze. So
Yeah, that group of potheads doesn't care about time either.
No, they don't. I doubt they know what day it is. No, I'm not excluding our Colorado listeners. Don't listen to Tip, Colorado. Remember, we're here to support and
Do we have any Colorado listeners?
I think we got one in Russia, and that's it.
Apparently we have one confirmed fan.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that said we were better than Disney.
That's true. Oh God.
So you heard it here first, folks. We're better than Disney.
To some people, I'm gonna use the John Lennon out of context thing.
We're better than Disney.
We're better than.
I've been telling
We're
everybody.
better than John Lennon. 25 to me right now. Is that not an appropriate thing to say? Sorry.
Fact.
Factcheck.com or is Jackass Express
We
better than
are
Disney?
better. We are.
Well, Snopes is doing a GoFundMe, so I'm sure if you paid him enough money, they would say that.
Who is?
Snopes.
I thought Snopes was saying that the GoFundMe was false.
I don't know. Who would we go to fact check it with if Snopes goes out of business?
Well, you see, that's why we got to start. We got to start Snopes' sister website called GoF So when they check it on our website, it just tells them, "Who knows? Go F yourself." I think that's the mature way to handle that question of whether or not we're better than Disney.
We are better than Disney.
You know, Disney right now, they have a lot of money. I feel like we should not be alienating Disney in any way, shape, or form.
Well, you know what? Jeff Bezos had the most money yesterday, and then 20 minutes later, second most. Fortunes can turn on a dime, Pat.
Well, I mean, look at how badly. I mean, I don't want to say Terrence Howard got screwed out of his deal because he basically just complained until they kicked him out. But do you think when he decided not to be War Machine in Iron Man that he had any idea how much that franchise was going to take off? Do you think he's like kicking himself right now like, oh my God?
Honestly, I had forgotten someone other than Don Cheadle had played that role.
Yeah, so did I.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. So all merchandising and everything that he could have possibly had a cut in, gone. And then I found out
He didn't look. He was in that movie Pootie Tang, I think. No, he wasn't. I can't think of a single movie that he was in. So he makes bad decisions.
he was in a television show that I never watched called Empire, but I saw the commercials for it, and it seemed more his speed. I guess that's his style of. I don't know. Of entertainment. He wants to be the mob boss, cool guy, and I get that. Some people are like that, but man, he just royally screwed over any opportunity he had to have like a franchise that he would have had money coming out of his ears with that. And it's like, but you know what's weird? I
They might have done their own movie.
Yeah, I like Don Cheadle better. I do. I think Don Cheadle's much funnier. I think he's much more dynamic, and I like War Machine now. He's cool.
Way to bounce back from Hotel Rwanda, Don.
Was that what he did before?
I'm sure he was
that a
in
while
it.
ago.
Yeah.
I think he was. Yeah, he was also in Ocean's 11. I think.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
with a somewhat believable British accent. I thought he did a pretty good job.
Isn't he
Yeah.
British for real?
No, he's a English speaking boy, but he does a very good British accent.
So again, I ask, wasn't he? They speak English in England, Pat.
No, but I mean he has like a Western accent. He doesn't have a British accent. I'm sorry. I mean, because it's funny. I've always seen people with British accents be able to pull off American accents fairly decently, like House and the new Spider-Man, Tom Holland. But then every time you hear an American try to do a British accent, it's just awful. It's absolutely. I think of them.
Try to do a British accent for us.
Well, hello there, Governor. How are you doing today?
You're right. That is awful.
Well, I mean, it is me you're asking, so the standard must be very, very low for.
So, fun fact: how do you say his last name?
Cheadle.
Yeah, Don Chalupa.
Oh, shit.
Don Chalupa and Terrence Howard were in the same movie Crash together.
And when did that come out? Googles. Crash with Don Cheadle. No, I don't want any illegal.
I don't know, but Tony Danza was in the movie.
I mean, that just fixes everything right there.
Yeah, because he's the boss.
Don Cheadle.
2004.
Terrence Howard. Oh, so then that was before Iron Man 1.
I bet you Terrence Howard's like, hey, Don, I'm going to be in this movie, Iron Man. Should I do like the whole set? And Cheadle was like, no, man, you should just do one. And
and so basically Don Cheadle sabotaged Terrence Howard.
Knowing he was second in line for the role.
Speaking of sabotage, I know that you two are both very avid Pokemon Go players. So I figure this next. Well, actually, I know you're not. So I just want to tell you about something that happened to my fellow Pokemon nerds out there that I think you guys will laugh and see. I told you guys. So basically, there was a convention. Well, not a convention. It was more like a what was it? Pokemon Go Fest.
Okay.
And what it was is that the game allows you to get certain Pokemon or these, the creatures, and they're, region exclusive. Sometimes you have to go to Japan and you'll get one that's exclusive there only. You can't get it in the States. But what this GoFest one is that they have these things called legendary Pokemon. And if you go to their event, like the Comic-Con sort of thing, a bunch of people can get together and then they fight against one of these big things and they get to keep it for themselves. It's their souvenir and it's awesome. It's great. Well, apparently 20, 30 people went to this Pokemon Go Fest and the software started crashing and it started glitching. So no one could play the game the entire time they were there at this event. So this was like going to like a Comic-Con. Like people had to pay for airfare, they had to pay for housing, everything. And they go there and you have to buy a ticket to the event as well. They give you the little bracelets. And it turns out nothing was working the entire time. So all these people spent all this money for them to basically say, yeah, this isn't going to be working. We're very sorry. And, yeah. So apparently everybody got, and they didn't offer any refunds. They didn't offer anything like that. So now there's a lawyer in Chicago who's filing a class action lawsuit against Niantic, which is the creators of the Pokemon Go, development. And it looks like they're actually going to win because, I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's like saying you go to Comic-Con to,
see sexy girls cosplay and it's all nerds.
That or like the air conditioner is broken or the trailers don't work. Like the electronics doesn't work. The power goes out. And
I don't know if going to Comic-Con and having the air conditioner not work would be such a bad thing in San Diego because it's always a pleasant 72 degrees in San Diego.
Yes, but you're also huddled in with a lot of very smelly costume-wearing people. Not saying that, they're...
Or they cheated on their emission test.
Yes. So now that their CEO is going to have 169 years in prison.
God. But I mean,
Breaking news here first, guys.
Right, we're changing the world. We're exposing them. But I mean, can you imagine going to an event and then it just falls apart? It just horribly falls apart, and then the people of the owner of convention are like, "Yeah, well, that didn't work out. Oh, sorry." And then
I can. It was May 28th, 2010. Patrick was throwing a party.
it's like saying you go to what? I was throwing a
for
party.
his birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was your birthday.
Okay.
And it was a horrible party. And we were promised an awesome party.
Excuse me. I was on top of everything.
What about July 28th, 2017, when we were promised a podcast at 8:30?
And it didn't start till 9:20?
No, you gotta stop living in the past. You gotta stop living in the past. Man, that party goes on late into the night, so of course it's gonna start a little bit late. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel for those people because I know they're basically suing them for airfare, housing, and their ticket. They want a refund on their ticket, so that makes sense to me. I hope they do that. I think it'll save face of the company. That's pretty rough.
That and Patrick wants his money back.
Yeah. No, I didn't go. I wouldn't have gone. I don't think I like the game, but I don't think I'm that devoted to it.
Well, you're obviously not devoted to starting the podcast on time.
Why? Why are we beating the dead horse? The horse is dead. I get it. I'm sorry. But
because that's what we do around here.
I had
especially when it's starting the podcast on time. That dead horse will beat all day long.
Not a horse left. There's nothing left. Speaking of crappy things that happened to me this week, I did the stupidest thing known to man.
What's that?
Or one of the stupidest things, and I.
You told your wife she was fat.
Oh no! I said stupid, not suicidal. Very different. We have this gentleman who comes to our office almost every day now, except for Thursdays, and he sells burritos, and it's great because we're always hungry in the morning, and I mean they're very like $2 burritos, and he does an excellent job. They taste great, and of course, John.
Do they come from the back of his van?
They go back of his van. No, I hope not. He just warms it
because on Thursdays he's probably at his court-appointed meetings.
I don't get the joke, and I don't want to get the joke.
Probation, Pat. He's on probation for selling drugs out of his van to little kids.
No. This guy is awesome. He's a legitimately good burrito maker. Well, anyway, the first day I met him, I was like, "Hey, man, this is great. I really appreciate being here. My name's Patrick. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?" And he's like, "Omar." I'm like, "Okay, well, hey, thanks, Omar. I really appreciate that. That's awesome." And so time goes on, and he'd come back the next day. "Hey, Omar, how's it going? Good to see you. Hey, Patrick, how are you? And what do you want?" I said, "Oh, man, I want to pick a deal. That's amazing." And then Johnny would get whatever he gets and whatever. And then it went on and on like that for a couple of days. Well, this last couple of days here, like 2 days ago, he comes at the office and I'm like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And I hear him coming down the office to our office so he can sell his burritos. And my brother's always overhear me talking to this guy, so he walks in and my brother goes, "Oh, hey, Omar, how you doing?" He goes, "Hey, I'm doing great, man." He goes, "By the way, my name's Victor." And my brother goes, "No." And he said, No. He goes, "I'm sorry. Patrick told me your name was Omar." I said, "Wait a minute. You told me your name was Omar." He goes, "I never told you my name was Omar." And I swear he told me his name was Omar. So I said, "Why didn't you stop me from calling you that? I feel like such an asshole." And he's all, No, it's just, you were calling me that and you seemed so happy. So I didn't stop you. And I was like,
wow.
So
Pat, how are you so bad at life?
I just, some weeks are better than others, but this last couple have just been very stressful, I think. Very stressful trying to figure out the Burrito Man's name. So
I would have just gone with Burrito Man.
But then, I don't want to just label him as Burrito Man because he's also telling us about all this other stuff he does. He actually goes around to all the businesses. He goes to the car dealerships, and he's really cool. And even Johnny, it's funny how Johnny works. Johnny's like, I have to find out this guy's recipe, how he makes his burritos and how I can adapt to it or do something like that. So he says, "Hey man, those burritos you got are really good. I think they're really solid. But if I were to make them, this is what I would do." And he doesn't, if I was the guy, I'd be like, "Shut up, man. Just buy my burritos or don't." But this guy's like, "Okay, let me listen to you." And he takes all of Johnny's advice, brings some more red sauce or this whatever. And I kid you not, that next Thursday that he had done that, the guy brought Johnny these 2 little things of red sauce and prepared it just the way Johnny wanted to. And I'm like, Johnny, you stinker, man. This poor guy, he's just trying to sell burritos, and here you are telling him how to change his recipe.
I'm surprised Johnny didn't try to set him up with insurance.
No.
Probably need a business license and health inspections for that.
No,
he's probably doing it while Patrick is not paying attention.
Oh, look, man, I can't be paying attention to what Omar's doing. I'm trying to work.
Patrick thinks that Johnny's talking to Omar about burrito recipes. Really?
He's telling Johnny, "Why does your brother keep calling me Omar?" It's weird.
I get it.
Well, so that's the big heavy hitter things that have happened to me this week.
And here I thought you were going to be like making a terrorist joke with him.
No. I just, I mean, haven't you ever had those days where like your brain's just not on and everything's in autopilot mode, and then you just like you're going through normal life, and then all of a sudden your mind clicks and you're like, "Wait a minute, what did I just call that guy? Wait a minute, what did I just do? Where am I?" And then like like it always happens to me whenever I'm driving. I get in the car and I'll be listening to a podcast, and then I'll get to work, and then I'm like, "How did I get here?" Like I totally zone out during those times of, I don't know, what I'm thinking or distracted or something. Maybe that's not a good thing.
Maybe you shouldn't be driving.
Maybe I should.
Yeah,
I've been telling people this for years.
This is what the insurance agent is saying.
Yeah. I don't feel bad for telling my insurance agent that I speed everywhere now.
Please don't. And no, I'm not condoning distracted driving or speeding and driving. I'm simply stating that sometimes, not all the times, you kind of get caught up in what you're doing. You forget what's going on. Like I'm much better with faces than names. I don't know about you guys. Are you better with remembering people's names or faces?
Faces.
Tip.
I don't care to remember people.
No, I mean I don't want to be that guy that, like I've had several people, especially after high school, that I'll be at the mall or whatever, and they'll just come up to me and be like, "Hey, how you doing, Patrick? It's good to see you. How are you? How's life?" And I'm like, "Oh, hey, man, how are you?" And I mean, I feel like a jerk because they obviously remembered me, but I have no idea who they are. And
So here's a fun story about not remembering people.
oh boy.
So my dad recently found himself in the hospital long term.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, buddy.
And so the ICU nurse apparently remembers me from high school, but she was too shy to talk to me, blah, 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 blah. And my mom, being the concerned mother that she is, that her best son is not yet married or dating anybody, got the nurse's phone number and said, "Here's so-and-so's phone number. She says she knew you in high school and she'd like to reconnect. Give her a call if you remember her." No idea. Name's not even sounding familiar to me.
See, well, there you go. There you go. It's probably someone who knew you, but you maybe knew her, but then you forgot her name. So, like, it's like a jerky thing. It's like, here's a person that put all this effort into remembering you, and you have no idea who they are. So the way I see it is that some people are just better at remembering names, because there's no way someone would obsess over who I was like 40 or like how long were we in? How long ago was it? I don't care anymore. But oh my god,
it was
12 years, 13 years.
13 to 17 years ago that I've known this person that I can't remember, but she's obviously remembered me for those 13 to 17 years.
Dang. And I don't know if that's an age thing or if that's a guy thing. Jeff, do you have problems? You said you're a face person, right? So that means do you have problems remembering names as well?
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you've like, oh crap, I know this person's name, but it's just not coming to you?
His wife.
Yes. Every day.
It's like, wait a minute, I have children? What is this? Who are you? Oh, that's definitely one of the issues that I face. Definitely.
Well, I do have a hard time remembering what the name of my second child is.
You have a second child?
Sort of. I have 8/9 of a child.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
So,
Is it a direct clone, or was there gender selection involved?
It is a human child.
Okay, that's good. That's the best kind of child.
I know.
where did this one come from? So
Well, congratulations.
well, it was.
Thank you.
You've had the second kid for a while now, right?
No.
No,
Like I said, I have 8/9 of a child.
8/9 of a.
So basically, his
That's
wife's
being
been
slow.
hogging it for 8 months.
Yeah. Hat's being slow tonight.
Telling you, man, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week. How about you guys? I mean,
Yeah, he got mad. Omar got mad at you, so
no, his
you
name's
got to
Victor.
watch out.
Damn it! Don't start messing with my mind. It's like the memory replacement technique. Hey, remember when Omar told you that his name was actually Omar and he was messing with you? No, no.
If you ever see him wearing unusually warm clothes for the weather, probably ought to go the other direction.
Yes.
Did you have you guys ever looked into like the whole idea of it's a not a mind control thing, but there is a speculation that if you knew a person well enough, you knew their past well enough, you could almost you could rewrite their memories so that a person would honestly believe that something happened to them that it didn't.
It's called gaslighting.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing to you for the past 18 years.
Yeah, especially at the beginning of
In
this
the past
podcast,
30
the fact
minutes.
that I started later. But they did an example with someone who I'll try to find the video, but it was like they were counting. They're looking at shapes, and it was always like circle, square, star, triangle, circle, square, star, triangle, and then a person would leave. They would leave and say, "Okay, I memorized this," and he'll go and he'll tell the person this, and they'll come back to him and say, "Hey, remember you're looking at that circle, square, triangle, circle, square," and they're like, "Well, I know that there was a circle and there was a triangle, and wasn't there a star?" And then they'll create a false memory in a person, and that person will then believe, "Oh yeah, I remember. It was like you said." And apparently, that's a very basic version of modern mind control. Is because you can take elements from a person's life that actually happened, and then you add in that extra thing you want them to think happened, and then they'll go on the rest of their life believing that was true.
Like that time when Pat said that we were going to start the podcast at 8:30.
You know, I feel like the horse is now in several pieces on the floor.
There is no horse. There was never a horse.
Yeah,
You're
Pat.
just misremembering that, Pat.
No, there was a horse, and his name was Omar, and he was selling me burritos. After he went to the Pokemon Go Fest. Jeff, please.
Oh, man. Some days it's just too easy.
It is.
You know, Johnny took me out to Twin Peaks yesterday because two of my oldest brother's friends were in town. And I realized, as high school experiences go, some of the ones he had are way more extreme than the ones that I remember. And there's one that I really don't feel comfortable talking about, but like he had.
But you're going to talk about it anyway.
No. But I will talk about the fact that, okay, Brandon, our friend Brandon, good old Brandon, in high school, he had a reputation for attracting a certain type of female.
The crazies.
Right. And they always got to a point, well, I'm not going to say which ones.
Or they were crazy.
And he apparently attracted the same kind. To a point where something bad happened, and he had no idea what was happening, and it was just a very awkward situation. And I thought, you remember that story?
What was the very bad thing that happened that this girl was gaslighting him this whole time that she was a girl, but surprise, she had a penis.
And Brandon found out the night of homecoming. He's like, oh, I can't wait to tell the boys about this story. Oh God, Brandon, no.
I thought we were talking about your brother.
No. Oh, but we're talking about my brother's friends, and he was telling me all these stories about Eastwood that I had.
I thought we were talking about Brandon.
No. Stop it. Damn it, Omar! I need your help. Where is that stupid horse? But yeah, it's. I feel bad for the guy because I thought Tip. I've told this story a million times, but just to reference it, that story of the girl who wrote my name in the bathroom stall door, and it took up the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that was a great practical joke.
Tip, did you write that? Because if so, we got some things to here. But it was
15 years later, and the truth is out.
Lies. In any case,
No, I wrote it.
I'm gonna go to bed tonight and wake up and be like, the podcast is gonna start at 8:30. I'm gonna. Tip's gonna call April in the middle of the night and say, "Hi, Joshy," so that when Patrick wakes up, he doesn't think he has a kid. I want to wake up. Wait a minute. Hey, but we never had a kid. But
that is a fantastic idea.
No, Tip. No, I can't take it. But he was also telling me some really cool stories because he's a airline pilot and he's very successful. So good on him. But he was telling me about there was a few celebrities that he actually flew for, which I had no idea. And that's pretty impressive. And one of said celebrities was Blake Shelton.
Don't know who that is.
He's a Western guy on The Voice. He's like one of the judges, I guess. But one of the ones you may remember a little bit more would be Mr. Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, he used to live not down the street from me, but he lived on the other side of the golf course when I lived in Selma.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Did you ever get to talk to him?
No, he lived on the other side of the golf course in a gated community.
Well, my friend talked to Tommy Lee Jones, and Tommy Lee Jones tells him,
I thought we were talking about your brother.
Jeff, I'm trying to talk about Tommy Lee Jones.
I'm a little confused here.
No, I'm talking about my
I'm very
friend.
confused. So I've decided I've picked a random Twitter follower since they're all companies, and this one happens to be from El Paso. So we're going to promote her hippie girl business. I don't know where they are, but you can get sauna treatments for 2 people for $35.
Ooh.
That's hippie girl 915. She best be retweeting this.
I love it. I love it. That's cool. That's good. It's a good idea. Yeah, go get a.
Is she gonna be our sponsor?
No, it's just a little shout out.
We're gaslighting her into sponsoring us, and she'll think that she has to pay us because we've been doing this advertising for her. We have a business relationship.
Or we'll get a cease and desist. Don't ever try to endorse my product with your inferior company. Well, anyway, he talked to Tommy Lee Jones. Freaking amazing. Guy who trained.
Huh? I thought he was supposed to be kind of a jerk to talk to.
Well, apparently he's not, but he's very busy. So he was just telling him, "Hey, look, let me be frank with you. Are there going to be any storms between here and where I'm going?" And he says, "No, Mr. Jones. We're going to go around the storms. We're flying at night, so it's not too bad." And he goes, "Okay, because if there's storms tonight, I don't need to fly out tonight." And he said that he was just very straightforward with him and everything. And he's like, "Okay." So, and then everything went great. He flew him, and he was great. And then there was another guest that was, in his opinion, more of a. It's not the opinion of the Jackass Express, obviously, but it is called him basically a douche. And that person turned out to be
was named Brandon.
His name was Omar. No, it was Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage kind of has douche written all over his face.
Apparently, it was so bad. It was to the point where Nicolas Cage has a handler that speaks on his behalf. So he could never speak to Nicolas Cage directly. It was always, sir, we're going to have to do this, whatever. And then he wouldn't even make eye contact with him. He would just talk to his assistant, and the assistant would come up. Mr. Cage really would like this flight not to be interrupted. If we could, in all ways, just make it straight there. Well, what if the plane runs out of gas? Do you want to keep going and you want to do Con Air here? I mean, I'd love to see that happen. But
I wish that plane would have run out of gas.
This is my plane now. And then
That's the wrong movie, Pat.
I don't even.
So what did we start this whole tangent on? I don't even remember anymore.
We were talking about how Pat doesn't pay attention while he drives. I think, weren't we?
I see. I feel like there's this.
I guess it's
constant
kind of
loop.
fitting that I wasn't paying attention to that whole rant.
There's this theme. There's this loop back to my shortcomings here. I think I understand what's trying to be said here. I realize I have a lot of problems. Sorry, Omar, if you're listening. Sorry, Nicolas Cage. It wasn't my opinion. We you know what, Nicolas Cage, we demand that you come onto this podcast and defend your viewpoint. That's what we demand.
Or your handler. I'll talk to your
Or
handler.
your handler. Come on. Which basically we could just get any random person say, here on behalf of N. Cage.
So basically today we gave free shout-outs to 2 businesses.
Yes.
Omar Vincent's Burritos. And this weird clothing shop in El Paso. I forget the name. I'm trying to do a recap, keep everything going. But
Oh, that's cool. And then my horrible driving technique, or not my horrible driving technique, it's just that I spaced out. So people pay attention to what you're doing on the road, and you'll be fine. You'll be totally fine.
Hey, Tip, are you insured through him?
yes.
So it's a good thing this recording this conversation is recorded.
Oh yeah,
If you get in an accident, he can't deny your car.
Let me specify. What I'm suggesting is not promoting distracted driving. I'm saying because of my shortcomings sometimes. I mean, I know I'm obviously a great driver if I'm making it to where I'm going, and sometimes I just kind of space out. It's just like
debatable.
my point is that I daydream, and I probably shouldn't daydream at certain times when I shouldn't. It's kind of like Scrubs, where you're doing one thing and then suddenly you're like, oh yeah, what's going on? Who are you? And then come back to it.
So let's get back to dishing out dirt on your brother's high school friends.
Okay. I also told him about how somebody stole my date from the freaking military ball.
Wasn't bad on my end.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a little concerned about Tip's unrequited love, where he felt the need to scroll your name in the bathroom.
You're still creating false memories. I don't like it. I don't like it. Remember that time that Tip wrote Omar?
I thought that was the theme for today.
Yeah, forgetting things. That is definitely a running theme today. People being terrible at remembering things.
Hey Pat, do you remember that time 3 guys followed you into the bathroom?
Okay, that did happen. That sounds made up. It sounds made up, but I want you to also remember that the time that the 3 guys followed me into the bathroom and nobody came to help me. By the way, I want to remember that. I was there like,
We didn't want to get in the way of their happiness.
What's that?
Maybe you didn't need help.
I was nervous. I mean, I don't want to sound like you
were nervous.
It was.
Was it your first time?
God, Pat's first gangbang.
No. This is going down a very bad path here. It's just I was young in high school and it was intimidating. I did not know how that was.
Yeah, that's how most of these videos go, Pat.
Nothing happened in the bathroom. Tip.
Was there a black couch?
Wait, which bathroom are we talking about? No, I just remembered that I was like, "Hey guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom." And then all of a sudden, I just hear the door open, and then I hear people talking behind me, and I'm very nervous. And I'm probably giving myself more credit than I should because I have to think that I'm attracted to the same gender here. But it was from experiences where there's been miscommunications, and I've been approached.
Are you giving yourself credit for being attracted to the same gender? Does April know?
No, I said I'm giving myself too much credit, saying that they probably weren't there, and it was just me being super paranoid and.
No, they definitely followed you in.
Then why didn't you come to make sure that they weren't going to kill me? Tip, please.
Because they didn't look like they had killing on their mind. They had a different kind of stabbing.
I want to go back talking about Omar and Tommy Lee Jones. Save me, Nicolas Cage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, those were the 3.
What was one of those sponsors that you were talking about, Tip, that you're promoting?
Hippie Girl.
I need to go talk to Hippie Girl. Maybe she'll tell me what I need to do.
Apparently you need to deodorize your room with this lemongrass, all-natural, homemade freshener.
You know, I've never met this person before, but I bet you she's 100% correct. I probably need to deodorize my room.
I've never met her either, but she followed me on Twitter, so...
She sounds 100% hippie.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Then I definitely, we need to follow her.
You need to introduce her to Tip.
Yeah. Hey, Tip, man. This is your chance.
Yeah, giving her all this free advertising.
That's right.
To our one listener, but we are better than Disney.
Oh, that's the perfect thing for us to close on. That's the one thing to close on. Yes. Why are we better than Disney? I don't want to say the guy's name because he's probably embarrassed to be our fan. But I ran into, or I was made aware of an actually true fan of ours, which I'm very excited about, because what ended up happening is I've been making vlogs for the YouTube channel, for the J YouTube channel. So if you're listening to this, you're either on YouTube or you're listening to this later on a podcast through iTunes or something. Go to our YouTube channel. I make these dumb little vlogs called the JE Report. It would really help us out. We're trying to get to 10,000 views. I think it's very important. If you're on YouTube, you know why we're trying to get 10,000 views, but if you can help us out, that's great. But any case, I made this one about the 4th of July, where it was just us going off and popping fireworks. It was great, because we live in a part of the city where we're not technically within the city limits, so it's okay out here. And
it's lawless. They don't even have cops.
Right. It's like Mad Max out here, man. It's crazy. So...
with their jasmine lemongrass room deodorizer.
Yeah. And... okay, so April's cousin's husband, I believe, was telling, April's mom was telling him, "Hey, you like internet stuff, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess I like internet stuff." And so he showed,
internet stuff.
Well, because I mean, you got the generation difference. So it's like, "Hey, you like the YouTubes? I like the YouTubes. Everybody likes the YouTubes." And he showed them, or she showed him the vlog. And apparently he liked it, and he thought, "Hey, this is freaking awesome." And he said, "Oh yeah, I listened to their podcast. That's pretty cool." And I'm like, "Wait a minute." He said he actually listens to us. There's somebody that. So if you're out there, guy, you probably, I really appreciate you listening to us. That's really awesome. You're
missed connections on Jackass Express. Call Pat or follow him into the Village Inn bathroom.
But I tell you what, man, we every single person who listens to us, we're severely grateful for, because honestly, we're here just hanging out and having fun, and I think half the time we're like, I don't think we're really talking to anybody, but this is still fun, so we'll do it anyway.
So I've got a question. Since April's mom pointed it out, does that mean that she listens to the podcast?
She doesn't listen to the podcast, but she watches the vlogs, because the podcasts usually go on about 30, 45 minutes. And the vlogs go on about 11 minutes, 8 minutes. So I think those are more digestible for her to watch.
Okay.
Why?
That makes me less awkward when I talk to her.
Oh, yeah.
No, it doesn't.
No. It really doesn't. I don't care.
No, we don't really talk about... Well, I guess we do talk about some...
I just talked about you getting a gangbang in the Village Inn bathroom with 3 guys.
Hey, let me tell you. April's cousins, they talk about stuff a lot more sketchy, so it's cool, and they get it. It's just just crazy stuff called life. You can't deny it. Stuff that.
Hey happens. Jeff, you know what just happened?
No.
He didn't deny the gangbang.
There was no gangbang.
And I'm not. It sounded more like it was the cousins that were involved.
It did. There goes our one fan.
No, please don't leave. But yeah, we've talked about stuff that's a lot worse than that, so that's nothing. Although, yeah, that is honestly a time that I must have repressed, because when you were talking about the first time, you're like, 3 guys follow you to the bathroom. I don't remember that.
That was the GHB talking.
GHB? What is GHB? And I'm scared to ask that question.
It is
you
more
missed the conversation before you.
Yeah, I remembered like after
Tip
I
got
said
busted.
I didn't get busted. So what happened was I was driving to work, and there's this housing that they're putting up for the oil field workers, and it has a very negative nickname that we gave it that I will refrain from saying. But the 2 state troopers had pulled over 4 semi trucks, and that was like at 6 in the morning. I thought, oh, that sucks. Then when I went to lunch, they were still there, and there was like one of those investigator trucks. I thought, that really sucks. Then on my way home, 12 hours later, well, at 12 hours from the initial time I saw them, everything was still there. So I found out today that they had been busted with like 4 pounds of methamphetamine and 1,400 grams of GBH or GHB, more commonly referred to as the date rape drug.
Oh, shoot. No kidding.
Yeah. So,
Yikes.
I mean, in a town of less than 1,000 people, they were planning on a good time.
Well, you know what happened to me? Because I was just in San Antonio this last weekend.
Who goes to San Antonio for a band competition?
It's not a band competition, man. That's Drum Corps International. You watch your mouth, old man.
Sounds like a band competition.
Your face is a band competition. But basically, when we were there, we woke up on Sunday morning, and there was like, we turned on the news just to, as we're getting ready, and there's this announcement that there was this big old bust at the Walmart there, and supposedly they found 30 people locked in the back of a long semi, and it was basically these human trafficking people, and there was 38 people in there, but only 30 of them were alive, and the report said they were taking them as far as Cuba. So they were going to go all the way from here, from San Antonio, all the way to bloody Cuba. And these people, the way they found out that they were in there is that one of them was trying to sneak out so they can go get some water. And I'm thinking, holy cow.
So if they're trafficking humans, Pat,
yes,
why are they going to Cuba?
I was about to ask that same question.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the news report alleged. I may not have been paying as
could it be that the news report alleged that they were coming from Cuba?
It's possible, but they had muffins in the hotel room, so I was distracted at the time.
Muffins will distract Pat from human rights violations.
We just talked about the drive to work. I'm not numb.
Were those muffins in the bathroom?
No, guys, no. It's gonna. This is horrible for me.
This is what happens when you delay so long that Chase has to leave.
I didn't
So
delay.
speaking of
I said 8:30, but
speaking
you guys
of
thought I meant your 8:30.
Speaking of Chase, we should get him in contact with this hippie girl LLC 915, whatever they're called. They sell hair growth scalp treatment.
Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice. No, Tip, please.
And that's why I made the comment about the picture you showed us earlier, because I thought that was the Jonathan you were talking about.
No, I was talking about Pat, Johnny, Pat's brother, because him and Chuck DeBroder are the spitting image of each other now.
Okay, hold on.
So I can't keep track of the voices of you voices on the internet.
Great. Yeah, we all sound the same. We're all the same person at this point.
As far as I could tell, I mean, I've only met Tip.
Yeah.
Well,
and that was, I mean, circumstances were kind of cool for that meeting. It was out of the country.
Yeah, waking up early when I could have been sleeping in the hotel room.
I didn't wake up.
Take you to the airport. Oh, I know you didn't.
Oh, yes, jump on Tip. Jump on Tip.
Because I knew I had a 18-hour or 8-hour flight, so I just slept on the plane. And in all fairness, I paid you 300 euros.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy at the bottom is supposed to be Chuck DeBroder?
That is Chuck DeBroder. It's not supposed to be. It is.
That's not Chuck DeBroder.
It is.
We should be
from his official Twitter.
Man, that doesn't look like Johnny.
It looks exactly like Johnny.
I don't think you remember what Johnny looks like, Tip.
He looks like Chuck DeBroder.
Is it
Even I knew who that guy was, and I heard at one point somebody put tartar sauce on his car.
Yeah, I don't know who did that. Totally don't know who did that. They need to be brought to justice. But I get, the hair, I guess, maybe. The fact that he's wearing
And the look on his face, that he's pudgy and he's eating a burger.
Oh, and it comes out that he's pudgy. Holy cow.
I'm firing on all cylinders tonight.
Yeah,
Julian, Brandon, better watch out.
Wait a minute. You never mentioned Julian tonight. Or did you? And I forgot.
I just said better watch out.
Oh.
They're next.
I'm firing off on all cylinders, Johnny.
You better not shout.
Better not cry.
I mean, I'm gonna leave Scott out of it because he's having it's his time of the month.
Oh.
So, gotta be nice to him.
Have you guys ever, or Jeff, I should say, have you ever had to make the sacrifice to go down the aisle to purchase the things?
No.
Not yet. I have.
That conversation was going way different in my head. I was gonna be like, oh no.
No, it's the husbandly duty.
I haven't had to make the sacrifice and go in the bathroom either.
Have to go in the sacrifice to go to the bathroom.
Go into the bathroom with the other dudes.
Okay, that's different. That wasn't a sacrifice. That was fear.
That wasn't he enjoyed it, Jeff. He enjoyed it.
God.
It wasn't a sacrifice.
Why? All right. Well, hey, good news. Johnny said he'll be on at 10 o'clock or 10:30, so that wastes everybody's time. Just kidding, Johnny.
That's now.
But
where is he?
No, it's not 10 o'clock. It's 9:11. Damn it. Okay. Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or you feel like wrapping up?
I thought we were going to continue to gaslight you some more.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun with that.
Please don't. I don't want to wake up tomorrow thinking I'm a chicken. That would not be fun.
You aren't?
Damn it. Maybe. What are these feathers doing here? No, it's been a rough week. So I think the time people are most subjective to gaslighting, as you're saying, is when they're extremely stressed or extremely tired, because they're their body can't generate the right memories itself. So they'll just believe what everybody else tells them and like, okay, well. And isn't that the principle of brainwashing, when they do that thing where they make them stare at movies like nonstop until they just start remembering the world as whatever it was that they were looking at?
In Clockwork Orange?
Yeah. Or like the Winter Soldier, where they just kept messing with his head and electrifying it and keep giving him false memories.
That was the premise of Clockwork Orange.
Okay, well there you go.
Except that they had to use the eye things. The
eye drops, the Visine.
Yes.
That's scary.
That. I can't remember the name of the clinical name for the things that pry open your eyelids.
Yeah.
Incisors.
Mechanical fingers.
which you can blink out. I have learned.
Really?
Oh, that's right. Jeff, do you have something
Yes.
to tell us?
Ho ho!
I didn't blink mine out.
So, guess what, guys? I'm going through this company's services. Basically all their tweets.
All right.
Also a notary public if we need it.
Hey, awesome. Can't have too many notaries.
Notary and cellulite reduction.
Hey, man, I got both those problems. I need somebody to notarize my cellulite. I'm ready. No, but seriously, it's awesome that you mentioned people that are starting their own businesses. That's awesome. I don't want to say that I just forgot what I was going to say because it's just going to add to the problem here. No, but I was going to say something. I was going somewhere with this. Doesn't matter. I have cellulite. So, is there anything else you guys would like to talk about before we start wrapping up here?
No, I'm done.
You good? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff got the surgery. You're a woman now.
I did get the surgery.
Yes. So how is it? You have to sit
It's
down
good.
now.
Yes.
Okay.
That's an adjustment.
No, but he got the new eyes. They took out his old eyes
Yes.
and they put in new eyes, and now he's Cyclops from the X-Men.
Basically, I have to be careful what I look at.
So
because it might.
Is that because it'll make your family mad, or because you'll blow it
That
up?
too. Both.
Okay.
But I mean, what's the difference for you? Like night and day? Is it like somewhat better?
No, I don't have to wear glasses, so yeah, it's a big change.
That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. I want that so bad. Did you have astigmatism or anything like that?
Minor one, yes.
Man, because they keep telling me that I have bad astigmatism, and that's why I'll never qualify for laser eye surgery. But I say them be damned, because I will get that surgery one day. Either I'll turn into Nick Fury, or I'll have perfect vision.
Nick Fury or perfect vision? Does Nick Fury have 20 vision?
No, because Nick Fury has an eye patch. So I'll
Well, yeah, that's why I asked if he had 20 vision.
20 negative 20. Instead of seeing actual things, he sees through time.
20-0. 20-0 vision.
All right, guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was about to say, I think we're winding down, and my other half has just gone to bed since we started this an hour late.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't go to bed late in the Mickelson household.
We normally don't, but
today was the exception.
I stayed up for you guys.
Oh, well, thank you, Jeff. You're awesome. We appreciate that. So
Yeah.
No, seriously. I mean that seriously. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm very.
I was agreeing. Why do you feel the need to defend yourself?
Everything you say is sarcastic, and you remind me of times people follow me into the bathroom. Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable situation.
I'm sure it was uncomfortable to sit after that, but
Okay.
wasn't gonna say anything.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 51 of the Jackass Express podcast. Please.
I'm pretty sure this is 52.
No, it's 51, I swear. Because remember last time it was supposed to be this big old grandiose thing, but nobody showed up except for us three. As long as we don't mention it, we're okay. But please visit our Facebook page, facebookpage.com/JackassExpress, or
Facebookpage.com.
Facebookpage.com. Facebook.com. I'm tired. And also go to our blogspot, jackassexpress.blogspot.com. And believe it or not, right now we have the domain name jackassexpress.com pointing at our blog. So please, if you would like to make it easier on yourself, go to jackassexpress.com. And,
yeah, it'd be way easier if you just said that and left out the blogspot stuff.
It's been a long week. And also, we have our Twitter. Please go, if you would be so kind as to do that. And if you go to our YouTube page, if you're there, you would like to do the normal stuff there. Like, subscribe, like it, and tell Tip how much, how mean he is for picking on me. And that the start time was wrong and all that stuff. And it was their fault. And I'm innocent. Completely innocent.
That's an OSHA violation. Anyways, go support local businesses.
At the very least, I'm not guilty. Yes, go support your local businesses.
Like the two we talked about today with burritos and notary publics and stuff like that.
And if you run into Chuck the Broder, tell him, "Hey, Johnny, how you doing?" From the Jackass.
Don't be like Pat and be aware of what you're doing while you're driving. No distracted driving.
No distracted driving. This is like the G.I. Joe portion of the podcast.
G.I. Joe.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us.
Good night.
Bye.
Jackass Express, welcome aboard, so let's get it flowing. The Jackass Express. The Jackass